What's up, America? Welcome to another episode of Thought of the Week. You have Cha Cha here in the building with the 1/4 of the Run It Back team, the Run It Back podcast. And so, my thought of the week this week is what's for you is for you. And I put some thought into this because I was thinking about a couple of times where I actually succeeded, but where I came from and the things that I've experienced, I questioned whether I earned it or not. And I don't know how many people go through that, that don't know how to give themselves a pat on the back. But I want to change. I want to change that mindset if I can for those that have gone through that. And I actually have one story that I'll go into and hopefully this will hit home. And so in 2006 I went back to school, and when I say back to school, I'm actually going to say back for the first time. You know, a little who was that? Ludacris. That was the name of his album, Back for the First Time. America, look it up. Shout out to Luda. But I went to college. I went back at like 36. My mom was babysitting my niece and nephew, and they would get on her computer. I didn't know what YouTube was. This is like 2005, 2006. I didn't know what YouTube was. I didn't know anything about instant messaging. I didn't know any of that. I'm like, how are you all able to pull up these videos? I knew nothing about anything. And they walked me through it, and I learned it. And so when I got on my own computer or whatever, I created my own email. That's when Yahoo was kicking and all of that. But here's the thing. So I went back to school, and it was on accident, but I did. I went back to school, and I went for information systems, IT, and it was an associate's, and at the end of when it was time to graduate, we go through the whole phase, preparation and rehearsal, graduation, where you're going to be seated, this, that, and the third. And I won the award for the best student in the IT program. And I didn't even know how to celebrate. Because the thing that I asked myself was, did I really earn this? Was this degree so easy that they just didn't challenge me? I didn't want to give myself credit for just being able to say, you know what? I can do this. And not only can I do this, but I can retain it, and I can add on to it and be even better as I went through more and more and more. And it was and it took me a while to get over that hump of any time that I won something to question myself, like, did I really put in the work to earn this, or was there somebody behind? Was this rigged? Basically, was this rigged? And so even if it was, don't take yourself through that, because if you put in the work, then you've earned it. It doesn't matter, if you feel like they let you slide on this or on that. And I'm not saying that they did. It was just sometimes I had a hard time believing that I was as good as they thought I was. And that, America, is a problem. That is a problem. And it's deep rooted. And sometimes it's going to take somebody that to let you know that, hey, you earned this. And the reason why I say that is because there was a person that actually came across my path, because once I graduated, and I was graduating with high honors. So I went from that, and then I went back and got a bachelor's, and there was somebody that was trying to help me. I had them look at my resume, and they were like, oh my gosh, you got degrees in this and that. And I was like, yeah, but it's not from UK. It's not from this place, that place. So I didn't feel like I could compete, and they was like, ain't nobody trying to hear that. it's a degree is a degree is a degree. And so that's what it took for me to realize that, hey, I need to stop beating myself up. And lo and behold, I actually ended up, getting a job at UK. And this was in 2016, but we worked on my resume before that. A couple of years before that, I had been trying to get on with UK since 2013, and they finally hired me in 2016. But the point that I'm making is that it took one person to just, and I never told them about my accolades. I never told them at all. And it took for me to pass on my resume and let them look at it and say, yeah, I'll look at it and see what you got going on, and we'll see and we'll make you a cover letter and this. And they were like, oh my gosh, you've done all this. It was little things. I had won awards at my previous job, and there was just something within me that made me feel like that. Did I really earn it, or did they just give it to me? Do I want to celebrate myself, for the wrong reasons, and then end up setting myself up for failure if I put myself out there and I'm not as good as I think I am? That's what I dealt with, and I won't get into the reason why I felt like that about myself, but let's just say, I did. That's how I felt. There were things that went on in my childhood, outside of the home. I'm not going to say in the house. My mom was great. My dad was very intelligent, and so they gave me insight on things. And so I'm not going to say it was from inside of the home, but just trying to fitting in and trying to be something that I thought everybody wanted me to be able to fit in, that peer pressure. And the sad part about it is that actually carried on into my adult life. And so it took a long time for me to accept awards and victories that I truly earned. It took a lot for me to become that person to say, you know what, I deserve this. And when I say it's taken a long time, I'm saying like in the last 9 years. 9 or 10 years, when that person looked at my resume, and told me that I could compete. They had to instill that in me, like you can compete. They were like, you're very smart. You have great conversation. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And I just was not trying to hear that. It may be setbacks. If you go through setbacks, that's just what they are. They're just setbacks. So whatever is for you is for you. Don't shortchange yourself. Build on that. Build on it. Build on it. Build on it. Build on it. Because if you don't, you're just going to hinder your progress. And so what my thought of the week is, what's for you is for you. And I say that for a reason, because trust and believe, you've earned it. If you put in the work, you've earned it. The thing is that sometimes it might be easy. But trust me, you're going to be tested, because when you go to the next level, it's not going to be as easy as the previous level. That's just life. And, so I would go to level 1, then I would go to level 2, then I would go to level 3. And then maybe level 3 might be a little shaky for me, and I would have a great rapport with the teachers, but they saw something in me. So it in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they just let me pass. They're just trying to let me get by. No, they saw something in me. I actually had an accountant that wanted to, that came in, and he had a corporation that was looking for interns, and they came to him. He was a teacher, but he was an accountant also. And the first person that he came to get was me. And I didn't know why. And I didn't take that internship. I did not take it. I didn't feel like I was ready. This has happened. I've done this to myself in more than just education, but there's been situations where God was like, you're not running from this. And I've ran from it. And then he puts it in my lap to where, no, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna make it work. And so That's what's happened to me. So once again, America, don't be deterred if you earn something, and even if you just feel like you didn't put in the work, work harder. Work harder, because the next level is gonna be a little bit harder. It will be. But the main thing that I want you, America, to get out of this, America fans and subscribers, the main thing that I want to get, the point that I want to get across is that, embrace yourself. Embrace your greatness to whatever level it is. Whatever you earn, you've earned it. And don't shortchange yourself. Build on it. Don't sit still. Don't sit still. Don't be content. Don't be content by any means. But let that be your foundation to say, you know what, I can compete. I didn't think I could, but he got me through this, and I was able to do what I didn't think I could do. And so once again, I'll say this one last time, America. What's for you is for you. And that's my thought of the week. Peace, and I'm out.